went first. Cursed Hollow was out, followed by Sky Temple into Tomb of the Spider Queen, then Garden of Terror, Haunted Mines, which leaves us with either Black Hearts or Dragonshire.
Jester, are we going to get a Black Hearts Bay game?
I've seen it done. I've seen it done. I would actually not be too surprised to see it here.
Is this the dream?
No, it's not.
Aw, rip.
Sad face. So it will be the Dragonshire instead. So, become a powerful dragon. Now, a lot of the same kind of drafting, I want to say, from Cursed Hollow could be applicable here for Dragonshire. The more early game bursts that you got, the better of an early game you can put up could lead you into early dragons, and then hopefully you can snowball from there, just being able to juggle them out plus your opponents. But at the same time, you could always play for the late and just give up the early. We saw Wargame try to take that, but they just didn't work for them.
You can always do the good old strat of playing Ring around the Dragonshire, where you go ahead and take top point and then immediately go down to bot point to stall out any advance that an early game team might have on this map.
Like magical shrines?
Yep.
Musical shrines. That's
musical. It works the same way, whatever you call it. As long as you're taking one of the points, you're fine. But this is one of those maps where if you don't end it early, you're going to go into those 20, 22, 25-minute Dragonshire games, most likely. A map where it's very hard to take the Dragon Knight, and even then, the Dragon Knight isn't all that powerful until you get into that late game. But it can still do some considerable damage if you leave it alone.
Absolutely. So we're really thinking about it here. Team Refuse is really trying to figure out what to ban up against Nihilum, and it will actually be the Kerrigan after some considerable thought. Pool time actually all the way down to 52 after that one. But there it is, the Kael'thas ban as well from Nihilum. They do not want to deal with that level of damage.
A lot of applicable champions that you can ban on this map. I understand the Kerrigan ban for the combo and the early game start that she has.
Mm-hmm.
The KT for that late game level 16, now you guys just die sort of burst that he has right now. Vikings for being able to just construct a team that revolves around it in terms of applying pressure. Brightwing because of complete map control. The list goes on.
Absolutely. So first pick is going to be the Sylvanas coming out from Team Refuse. They are going to be going for not only the team fight, but that push, see if they can augment that dragon. And Nihilum immediately, Illidan Brightwing, no hesitation coating. Oh, just bam, done. This is what we're going to roll with.
Good picks on both sides so far. Sylvanas is easily with Kerrigan and KT out. Maybe besides Jaina, but with Sylvanas, you have that map pressure. You have the ability to apply essentially what is a curse to all structures and minions on the map and just put pressure in whatever lane she's in. A good pickup and an all-around good champion. And on Nihilum's side...
Ooh. So sorry.
Okay.
I'm a huge fan of Zagara. The lovely ladies are coming back. Look at that. Kerrigan, Sylvanas, Zagara as early picks from and bans from Team Refuse, but Chen as well.
Yeah. I'm more excited about the Chen pick.
Yeah,
not a lot of Chen players over in NA right now. We primarily are focusing on the Bug, Tyrael,
ETC.
And ETC and Muradin.
Muradin's been coming up, and there
Speaking
he is.
Speaking of Muradin, yeah.
The stuns, man. I like not only between Brightwing and the Poly, we also now have stun potential there for Muradin to keep Chen and Zagara in line. Zagara very immobile, and Chen, if you can't drink, you really kind of limit what he can do.
Very interesting drafts on both sides right now. Very standard picks in terms of the Sylvanas and Illidan and Brightwing. Both of them, still fairly high picks. Illidan, not so much in this patch, but I think teams have been starting to give him more love as they figured out KT and have realized, hey, Illidan's still good. We can use him in picks and whatnot. But the Zagara and Chen, Zagara still kind of in that lower echelon of picks. You might see her as a 4th or 5th, but picking her up as 2nd is quite interesting. And the Panda. Oh, are we going to see Panda Palace? Probably not, but
it's almost for sure going to be a barrel.
I know. Oh, okay. I don't know what's going on.
I
All right.
I have to confirm that's a real pick.
Um,
That's a real murky, right?
yeah, that's a real murky. Okay, so okay, so I actually kind of understand what Refuse is going for right now. They are going for a comp that just pushes, pushes, pushes. You're going to have either, I would say, either probably Murky and Chen in solo lanes, and then you're going to have Sylvanas, Zagara, and Uther in a separate lane of their own, constantly pushing on a Nihilum lineup that doesn't have a lot of ability to clear right now. Uh, they have a good team fight lineup, no doubt, but can they compete against a lineup that is just able to push? If they pick up maybe a Vala, and as soon as I say that, they pick up the Vala.
Yeah, they
So
absolutely need a Vala, multi-shot Vala. I would go with.
yeah. So now they have the wave clear in order to counteract what Refuse is trying to go for here. Um, Interesting draft. You don't see a lot of Murky or Chen from where I'm from, but this is gonna
The
be
only team in North America that really runs Murky is Murky and Uberak with Cloud9 Maelstrom. And that's the double remove you out of the fight. You got an octo grab on someone, you put a web wrap on someone, and now all of a sudden the fight is 3v4. That's really all we've seen in North America. We've seen, I think, teams Tempo Storm actually take it once or twice, but it's never really been in like high stakes matches. Here, this is best of one, and this is Dragonshire up against Nihilum, one of the more highly hyped teams in Europe, and they go Murky. These guys, I love Team Refuse right now. I am absolutely Team Refuse right now.
they went from a blow your face off comp into a comp where it's like, all right, now we're just going to push you and we're going to see if you can counteract that. Two completely different play styles. This is going to be interesting. I enjoy what Refuse has done in both drafts.
So I did say that I'm really big fan of Zagara. I really am. I think that Zagara by herself is a fantastic laner. In fact, in terms of the lanes here, I wouldn't be surprised to see Zagara Chen soloing out lanes. Chen in the middle, perhaps Zagara into the top. She's a fantastic duelist. She'd probably, I want to say, go up against Mirrodin or Illidan in this regard. I don't think they would put a Vala or a Jaina into the top to try to counter that. It is just not going to work against the Zagara. But this could, Sylvanas, Murky, push lane with Uther. The possibilities, man.
They're endless. Like, you could have Murky go ahead and solo a lane and have Sylvanas Zagara push. You could have Sylvanas go off in her own lane. Well, not the best 1v1er, but still, you could then have Zagara and Murky just causing havoc with the amount of stuff that they're putting down on the map.
Yep.
Interesting what they can do. You're probably right with Zagara going off in her own solo lane and Sylvanas Murky pushing with the Uther. I'm not sure though what Refuse wants to do in the late game. This is like, I feel like they want Chen to be barreling people out of the way and then have Murky Sylvanas just kind of find a hero. They have to be careful during team fights with this comp if they ever want to take a team fight.
The barrel is mostly primarily a zoning tool. So if Mirrodin jumps in, if Illidan jumps in, you could just barrel Vala, Jaina, Brightwing away. And there's not really too much they can do about it. Vala can maybe vault back in, but it's just barrel away anyways. So the idea is to split them up. At least this is how I see it going down. Mirrodin, Illidan by themselves, Jaina, Brightwing, Vala off to the side. And you got Devouring Maws to keep them at bay as well. You got the barrows. You got Silence Arrows. If they do group up because they're needing to try to come back to support their team. So I feel it's for team fights, it's all about how well Team Refuse can zone. Because they're going to have Murky. Murky with an Octo Grab is very likely, I want to say, simply because that's all we've really seen out of competitive Murkies. But there's a lot of control here for Refuse. If they can successfully control Nihilum and start just whittling them down, get a kill on Vala, get a kill on Jaina, you're looking at 4v5, 3v5 scenarios, and it doesn't really matter that they don't have huge burst or huge push at that point. It does matter because they have the better numbers. So that's how I see their strategy.
Would you consider Nihilum's lineup a little bit more late game oriented? Because I feel like this comp coming out of Refuse is on a timer almost. Like if they don't end this game before maybe 20 minutes, it's going to be very hard for them to
Illidan and Jaina by
take it.
themselves just get ridiculously good, ridiculously fast. But
Yeah.
you're right. Now, I do think Nihilum wants to try to end this a little bit earlier rather than later. But if Team Refuse can't, it might just be in a better spot there as well. Game has actually started, so we're going to jump into that. It is going to be Refuse on blue and Nihilum there on red as we're going to get into the Dragon Shire and some really fun comps today. We saw the double tank, we saw the crispy taco. Now we're bringing Murky into the fold of things. I'm super excited to see what's going to happen here with cup number 11 today.
Just the best of comps right now.
It was the best of comps. It was the worst of comps.
The worst of comps would be 5 healers. That's just mean.
Oh, man.
Very interesting drafts so far, and I've only seen 4 teams be able to draft. But
welcome to Europe, my friend. Welcome to Europe.
A strange new world that I don't know yet.
Once more, Team Refuse going to be here on blue. Konus going into the top with the Chen. It looks like Merlin is actually going to be the mid today. He's going to throw down that egg, and he's just going to continually batter up against the gates there. And that will leave us with Zagara, Noisen, and Arkham here into the bottom lane, as Murky is the first sacrifice of the game.
Poor Murky. However, on the red side, we have Nihilum. We have Taz Dingo on the Volo. Rolik on the Jaina. We have poor Murky. We have Stock on the Muradin. Banefil on the Brightwing. And finally, Alex the Pro G on the Illidan. That Murky has not had any love so far in the mid lane.
Yeah, but I mean, a quarter kill this early on is virtually nothing. It's a drop in the bucket, so to speak. But Konus up against Alex up top. Yeah, Alex is just going to start playing around with him all day. We do got Regen Master on the Chen, so he is definitely going a bit more of the tanky Chen that we know and love rather than an Assassin Panda. But this early on up against Illidan, especially with some of these better engages from Alex, he is going to be pushing that around. There goes the Murky once more. Have yet to catch it on camera, but I mean, like, it's not really adding or detracting at this point. The egg is so close. He's just able to soak so much, even with those deaths. It's really going to be coming down to an actual kill on some of these side lanes to start seeing that experience really shift radically.
It's the approach that I thought that they were going to take. Chen in a solo lane, Murky in a solo lane, and then Sylvanas Zagara trying to be able to push out this Nihilum team. However, they're holding their own with the Brightwing Jaina and Muradin down in the bot lane. Let's see if they can actually take the bottom shrine as well.
Yeah, Merlin is just not having any luck up against that Valish. He will be able to just keep them down very easily. But stuns, perhaps? Stock stuns into polymorphs for the Jaina is really the only way I see a kill happening into this bottom lane. But that's not even going to be a thing because bottom lane has moved into the mid. Well, there goes Murky, but it was a successful capture bottom from 18.
Able to once again be able to play musical shrines. I can see Nihilum being able to take this fight actually right now, and will try to.
Yeah, they're definitely. Well, Stock is going in, but so much damage coming back out. The passive healing from Vonafil will be enough. There goes the passive from the Mirrodin there as well. That second win putting in. Was that in Venom? It was double in Venom as well from Noise and Hate, but it wasn't enough to bring down the dwarf.
They're trying to get picks as soon as possible to try to be able to take someone out and then say, all right, now we can start pushing you guys.
And pushing is not something that we've been seeing a lot of this early game, at least from Team Refuse. They still got Murky, playing around with Taz Dingo, who's still looking very healthy. Bottom lane, the towers are untouched. In fact, most of the ammo is actually still within the towers here of Nihilum. Top, Konus just cannot get anything done up against Alex. And there goes the Murky once more as Taz Dingo is starting to really hammer home some of these kills.
And on top of that, Brightwing was able to take Bribe and be able to pick off the Zagara. This early game has not panned out well.
Arkham, the stuns, the heals, the shields.
Auto attacks? No. All right, he's safe.
Close, but no cigar. We do got now Tazdingo. If he can grab a kill on Merlin, and Merlin knows that, it could be a really quick dragon. So they're just going to play around a little bit, but still, Tazdingo, it's going to force the hand here of Merlin, but it's not going to be enough, and that is the early dragon of Nihilum, and Murky to die anyway.
We said at the beginning that this was supposed to be a push comp coming out of Refuse. However, it's actually Nihilum that's just constantly putting on the pressure. We have Illidan in the top lane just, oh man, ravaging this poor Panda. Mid lane, Tazdingo has just been able to handle this Merlin, as this Murky has not been able to do much as he gets punted away. And in the bot lane, the lane that was supposed to be pushing with Sylvanas and Zagara, there's no damage. There's not even any tower shots taken down. This has been a very ineffective push strat coming out of Refuse.
But the early game here from Refuse is nothing really that we can, have confidence in. I mean, the Murky early is not really something that's super terrifying, and not until he gets the Octograb. And at level 7, if you see, we don't actually have Cleanse from the Brightwing. It is going to be the Gust of Healing. So Octograb will be able to land here. You don't have the barrel as of yet. We don't have the maw. That zoning potential needs that level 10. But unfortunately, trailing behind now a level and a bit, it's going to be a while until we start seeing the strength of this comp, if we see it at all.
The constant siege damage that Nihilum has just been able to put on Illidan right now with 28,000. Two other heroes in Jaina and Vala over 20. Most siege damage, Murky with only 18 on the side of Refuse, just not being able to apply the pressure that they need at this early game, and there's going to be a gank down in the bot lane.
Yeah, big damage potential. Oh, they got the silence on Noisin, and he is going to drop. Yeah, the Banshee, I mean, we had stock there anyways. He jumped right into where that Banshee was. He had that Stormbolt ready. It was just not going to be the Banshee Queen's day. And there goes Tazdingo once more with another kill on Murky, putting us now up to that level 10 mark. And ultimates have been achieved. These heroics are ready to go.
Let's see, we have Water Elemental coming out of the Jaina. We have Strafe coming out of Vala. Metamorphosis for the Illidan. Avatar coming out of Muradin. And then finally we have Blink Heal. Not the Gust of Wind.
You don't need a Gust. Not against this comp.
You really don't. A lot of damage output, and I'm not sure with the squishy lineup that Refuse has in terms of the Sylvanas and Zagara if they're able to counteract this.
Oh, wow, that gank just did not go anywhere. Noisin and crew coming up for Tazdingo, but in comes the Phase Shield. We had the Strafe go out as well. It deterred the rest of that engage, and now it is going to be Refuse on the back foot as the rest of the roam has now caught up to the mid. 4-man stack here. Illidan has still playing around with Konis, and Konis cannot touch him, but we are sitting at 3 3/4 kills to 0, and the second dragon is now up for grabs.
There wasn't much that Murky could do in terms of trying to annoy. Oh no.
Storm, Earth, and Fire. It is actually going to be Panda Pals.
I feel like this actually needed to come out for them, because I feel like they needed to distribute some of the damage that's coming down. However, the problem with Panda Pals against this lineup is it's so AoE oriented coming from Jaina and Vala right now. And on top of...
Sorry, the world's most boring fight into the top lane.
Oh. The wet noodle fight.
The wet noodles, yeah. We did see the death of Brightwing. Just to interrupt you there. Silence arrow coming out from Noisin because there's still so much damage to be had. In goes Stock with that Stormbolt, and it's going to be enough. Merlin comes down with that Octograph, but he didn't put out the Pufferfish in time. There goes Zagara. It's probably going to be Merlin up next. We have another Storm. We don't. He will live to see another day. But on the back of finally the first kill and the Mercs, it is actually not going to be a favorable team fight here for Team Refuse. And Konis and Alex, they still can't actually get that top.
They haven't moved for a minute.
No.
This is the most epic of battles going
Look
on
at that
right
hero
now.
damage.
Oh
37,000 and counting. Konis is, I mean, he's
all right.
likely
He's
not to
finally
die.
forced off.
Yeah, he's going to be forced off, but he's not going to die. He has Panda Pals, and there's no stuns here, and there it is. He's just going to run away with that. But, man, just a ridiculous fight into the top lane.
Padding the stats that Illidan was, but finally Dragon Knight going over to Nihilum again. Stock taking it down the middle. And there isn't much opposition right now. Finally we have Noisin coming in, but this should be a fort going down for the side of Nihilum.
Yeah, they don't have the damage. You've said that a few times now. I was really expecting to see a big zoning strat here, use the Octograb to lock down someone, barrel people away, maw them away, and start picking them off. But still, Nihilum, they're not having any of it. Level 14 about to now 11. There goes that fort, and Stock still has hit points to spare. There's the Octograb, though. Here comes the Pufferfish. It's going to be some big damage there. On top of Alex the Pro G, he will get the temporary hit points from Konus, and he has to pop out that first aid and look for that retreat. But now Konus is coming in. He can jump right there on top of Taz Dingo, but I don't think there's really going to be any more pensions here for kills. But we're still going in. Konus is still chasing. Hate really wants to get a ball, but he can't chase. And yeah, it will be the one kill, but still, we lost the fort and tower damage has been done on the keep gate. Still a good position for Nihilum, all things considered.
Always watch your positioning, boys and girls. Jaina just going in a little bit too far, actually taking 2 to 3 tower shots, dropping our health below 40. Perfect time, and Refuse did see that to go in with an Octo and just take her out of the fight immediately. It forced Nihilum to go and ahead and back off of that.
Yeah, those kind of picks is what I'm expecting more and more to see here from Refuse, but that's only if they live. I mean, Konus is now going to be a big target here, but still the stun had gone off, and there's no poly, I guess, available for Vonethil. That will be the Panda Bows. Here comes the Devouring Maw. We do got Divine Storm just coming up in 10 seconds, but that's still, I mean, that's not going to be the wombo that they're looking for. The Devouring into the Storm with the Octograb, like, very powerful stuff, but you have yet to see it executed.
He hit a fairly decent 2-man Maw. The problem was, I believe it was on the front line of Muradin and Illidan, and not really any of the squishies being in that Maw kind of caused them to back off of it and not be able to engage as they wanted to. Plus, with Murky not being there, it, you know, basically told them, yeah, we can't do anything with it.
So level 13 Talents has a heck of a lot of defensive options. Look at the spell shield for Sylvanas, would you believe? Spell Shield for Uther, Relentless for the Panda. But on the flip side, we have improved Ice Block for the Jaina and actual Ice Block for the Brightwing. There are so many defensive options here.
They're basically saying, hey, if you want to target our squishies, it's going to have to be the extremely mobile Vala. And that's kind of not optimal for Refuse to try to go after. If they do try to go after Brightwing or go after Jaina, they'll be met with the Ice Block. Oh, the silence coming down in the top lane. Noisen not going to be able to actually follow that up.
Oh, there goes the Murky. Noisen is going to get that top. Now, we did actually have Konus playing interference there in the mid, and so far the only kill has been the Murky. Now, Murky is going to be back to the mid, and Vonethil is sitting really nice and pretty up against Noise, and he's just going to force him right off there as well. Zagara is going to be the gank bottom, separated from the team. Didn't actually see that engage going down, but Konus is really holding strong in that mid, but I don't think that's going to be enough to stop this.
I was too busy with the Brightwing being able to sustain, and as soon as I say that, they take him out top lane. Nihilum trying to take care of the Panda Pals.
Ooh, it's going to be close. Konus is really starting to put up as much as he can, and it will stop the Dragon. But they lost 2 heroes now to the 1. We still have map control pretty much solid here for Nihilum.
Yeah, they should be able to take the top now. Merlin going to try his best to stop it, but I don't think that he'll be able to.
Stock versus Merlin, I would take Stock every time.
Yep. And with that, Dragon Knight once again going over to Nihilum. Knight's still pushing in the bot lane, however, it's just the caster Knight as Murky gets taken out, unfortunately, again.
And he's going to come right back, but that egg is in a very bad spot. He's going to have to move that as soon as he can. Level 16 here as well. This is a bad time to fight for Team Refuse. They don't have those 16 talents. Executioner, sorry, give him the axe. Right, it's the new one. For Muradin. He is pure. Look at that. Thunder Strike, Thunder Burn, Reverberation, and now give him the axe.
If he catches one person out, they're essentially dead at this point.
That's something you don't see every day, sir.
Nope. It is not. Oh no, and the Maw missed as they go in for the team fight.
Yeah, the 0-man Maw is going to be it for Zagara. That does not have any kind of mobility. We did actually tie up Alex the Pro G with that Octograb, but there goes the Uther now as well. He's not 20. He's not going to be coming back, and Konus doesn't have the Panda Pals ready to go. so he is going to be out of there as well. There goes Noisen, and the only survivor will be this Murky, simply because of his respawn mechanics. Now, they did tie up a lot of team fight here. Tazdingo is going to get out of that Dragon because of the timer, but they took the keep, and they're going to be very happy to start painting this map red.
A very good team fight. Once again, Refuse kind of having the front foot and trying to engage with it. They were able to take one person out, however, as soon as it devolved into kind of a mess and not being able to actually hit anyone with the Zagara ult, and being 3 levels ahead on top of that, Nihilum was just able to clean up whatever was left of the Refuse team.
Now we do got red bruisers in 5 seconds. Sorry, blue bruisers in 5 seconds. There they are. They're just popping now. We did have some pings down on top of them. Alex and Tazdingo are going to go get the red bruisers at this point. If blue doesn't pick them up, there is going to be a fully red mercenary map that Team Refuse has to deal with. They are 17, and they do have those level 16 talents now there as well, but Conus is going to be in some big trouble. In fact, it's going to just pop out the Panda Pal. If Hate can get a big maw here, it could start turning the favor. But now they don't have the pals for the next team fight, and this is a very bad situation for them.
That was a wasted survivability technique, survivability heroic from Conus. I guess it's a technique for, you know, the monks of Pandaria, but, you know.
I don't know too many people can split into 3. I don't know about you, man.
But that's essentially a wasted heroic coming out of Refuse. I felt like he could have gotten out of it without having to pop it, but yeah, for being able to take that out, Nihilum able to hit level 20 and take the Knights. They could probably just be able to rotate now and be able to take out another keep if they really wanted to.
Well, it's full red map. Vana fills into the top shrine. They're probably going to go bottom. They're going to kill Merlin. That's fine. But likely into the bottom. They might even pick up these bruisers here as well. But it's almost guaranteed another dragon for them because of this positioning. If they act quick enough, they're actually not really moving too quickly here. Stock is going to be bottom, but at the same time, Noisen got there at the same, and that's not going to be the dragon yet. But once more, Conus is getting caught, and he does not have those pals this time. Murky also going to be falling this to the curbside, and that is not a position you want to be in for Team Refuse.
I was actually not looking at that right now. I was looking down at the bot lane and just seeing the sieges going down. I was wondering why Uther was backing from that top. I felt like they could have taken a fight up there, but I just saw the mass amount of map pressure that Nihilum has right now, and Refuse obviously just not being able to handle it.
Those level 20s as well, double blink, the hardened shield, meta, and storm shield. It's this is basically, I want to say this is game. I mean, rushing for the core, there's no Panda up. They do got the Divine Storm, and wow, they will take out the Brightwing with the Octo. He just has nothing to do about it. But Tazdingo is now strafing. They got Rolik on it, and I think this is it, sir. Yeah.
Even if everyone else goes down right now, a fully healthy Dragon Knight will be able to take care of it, and they do.
Good game. Well played. It will be Nihilum now to defeat Team Refuse and move on into the round of 16 here for the ETS Qualifier Cup number 11. As I said, Nihilum, they've gotten to this stage before. They have gotten to finals. Can they do it again today? Can they actually win against their undetermined opponents? I think they really are the big favorite here.
And it shows. Honestly, coming into this game, I felt like Refuse might have actually had